So after former President Obama claimed credit for our current economic boom yesterday, President Trump fired back, saying the boom is due to rolling back Obama's policies by cutting regulations and taxes. So who's right? Who cares? Think about it. The debate we're having isn't over how great things are. That ship has sailed. The media and the Dems see there's no more denying the success, so now it's about quibbling over credit. Fine, let the Dems have it. It won't win them election, but it might reduce their tears. Divorce rumors continue to escalate for the Obamas. Hopefully they can settle it like men.
What happens when someone finally calls out Barack Obama without holding back? That's exactly what Greg Gutfeld did live on TV. No filters, no soft language, just a sharp, honest takedown that left viewers stunned. While most media avoids being critical of Obama, Gutfeld went the other way. He asked, what did Obama actually fix? And followed up with facts that made people uncomfortable.
Paul, is it helping the party to tell them to return to the rhetoric that helped them lose in 2024, like the dictator kind of stuff? It doesn't work on half the country. It's not going to get any better.
I don't think they have answers. You know, and is it me? He's looking banged up.
Yeah, he's been having
it's the first time. It's something I've never seen with him. He looks scared.
Yeah.
Welcome to Celeb Viral, where we look beyond the headlines and bring you what the mainstream won't. If you're tired of the same old filtered news, this is your space. During the panel, one of the guests pointed out how the left keeps falling back on the same rhetoric that didn't work in 2024. Paul, a longtime political commentator, responded that the whole dictator-style messaging is failing. People can see through it, he said. Another voice on the panel chimed in. Obama looks nervous. Have you ever seen him like that before? And someone quickly replied, no, he's rattled. Totally off his game. Gutfeld wasn't just making noise. He laid out his points with examples. The economy under Obama looked good on paper, but many Americans were struggling. Wages were flat, jobs were unstable, and overseas drone strikes kept increasing. Yet the media said almost nothing. It was all presentation and praise. No real pushback. One of Gutfeld's most viral comments was when he said Obama ran the country like a LinkedIn profile. Polished, full of buzzwords, but lacking real substance. That line hit people hard because it captured what many were thinking, but didn't dare to say out loud. The farewell speech Obama gave was emotional and grand, but once the cameras stopped rolling, nothing actually changed. It was like watching the end of a movie where the hero walks off into the sunset, but the problems are still there. No credits, no cleanup, just silence. This wasn't about personal attacks. Gutfeld's rant reflected what many people feel, but are afraid to express. The media gave Obama a pass for years. Now with people like Gutfeld speaking out, the conversation is finally shifting. If you're seeing this differently now, you're not alone. More and more voices are beginning to challenge the old narratives. Stick around. We're not done yet. In his latest move, President Obama didn't go after global threats like ISIS, violent street crime, or human rights abuses in Cuba and Venezuela. Instead, he took aim at Fox News, again. He accused the network of portraying poor Americans as lazy or dependent, calling them sponges and leeches. While he pointed fingers, the real questions around his stimulus plan still linger. That massive spending effort was supposed to restart the economy, but as Greg jokes, it was like pouring Gatorade on a forest fire and wondering why it didn't work. Billions were spent, and what did we get? Fancy signs about recovery, signs that often cost more than the jobs they claim to create. And while real cities like Chicago, Baltimore, and Milwaukee were struggling with violence and survival, President Obama flew off to Alaska to film a survival-themed reality show with Bear Grylls. The irony is thick. On healthcare, his signature achievement, Obamacare, turned out to be a mess. The rollout was a disaster, riddled with technical failures, and many people found that affordable didn't mean what they thought. Promises like, you can keep your doctor, turned out to be wishful thinking. Some are still looking for their old doctors, maybe in Canada. Let's not forget the Nobel Peace Prize he received early on. Greg says that was like handing someone a gold medal for just showing up in a tracksuit. And while the media cheered him on, the administration made drone strikes and surveillance a regular thing. The NSA under Obama became the face of digital snooping. So much for transparency. It was the biggest bait and switch since someone ordered regular coffee and got decaf. In a recent podcast interview, Michelle Obama joked that Barack is always late. So late, we're still waiting on him to confirm where he's from. Barack, in turn, is apparently annoyed she leaves the toilet seat up while cleaning. Classic. Back on Wall Street, Obama was supposed to fight for the little guy, but once in office, he sided with the big banks. Greg compares it to hiring a fox to guard a hen house, then acting surprised when there's blood and feathers everywhere. Wall Street got richer and walked away clean, while regular Americans got a few empty promises and foreclosure notices. Back when Obama was in office, Greg jokes, he didn't even need a press secretary. The media handled the PR for him. Every small action was hyped as historic. Even mistakes were praised as strategic. If Obama sneezed, the media would host a panel explaining its climate impact. Greg argues this was the golden age of media bootlicking. And maybe, just maybe, Obama had a hand in today's politics. Without him, would there even be a Trump? Ironically, critics of Trump's booming economy now want Obama to get credit for it. Next up, Greg teases, Obama might claim he invented the cages at the border. Oh wait, he actually did. His solution for fixing schools was to pour money into the system and hope for a miracle. What Greg calls academic trickle-down. But inner-city schools didn't improve. They just got fancy new slogans. Obama also pushed for gun control while being surrounded by armed guards. Classic case of rules for thee, not for me. Despite deporting more people than any other president, he was still seen as compassionate because his policies came with piano music and soft lighting. Greg calls out the hypocrisy, saying if it were an Olympic sport, Obama would have won gold. He doubled the national debt, yet some still call him fiscally responsible. Greg compares it to a guy lighting his house on fire and calling it innovation in home heating. After leaving office, Obama didn't fade away. He rebranded as a calm, polished narrator. Greg jokes he's now the backup to Morgan Freeman, just with more smugness. While sipping wine with tech elites, Obama's legacy was being wiped out by Trump executive order by executive order. Greg says that's the price you pay when you govern with a dry erase marker. And just this Sunday, Valerie Jarrett went on CNN to defend Obama, proudly claiming he had no scandals and never embarrassed himself. Greg just shakes his head. They say Obama's presidency was scandal-free, that he never embarrassed himself or his staff. But let's be real, just because no one was caught in bed with a giraffe doesn't mean there were no scandals. To believe that, you'd have to forget about the IRS mess, Benghazi, the Secret Service slip-ups, Bo Bergdahl, and Hillary's private email server. Obama often spoke about unity, yet during his time, America split over bathrooms and pronouns. It felt like he tossed a grenade into the culture and then complimented the curtains as he walked out. Some say he perfected political theater, always polished, always rehearsed. Not incompetent, but calculated. Every speech felt scripted, every pause designed to look wise. The media? They treated every controversy like a family secret, just shove it under the rug. And when Obama finally spoke against today's woke culture, calling out its fake purity and hashtags, it surprised many. He didn't drain the swamp, he made a gift shop out of it. Government grew bigger, flashier, but not better. As Greg jokes, it was like watching a chia pet, just add media praise and watch bureaucracy grow. And through it all, Obama stayed untouchable, even when he told Americans they could keep their doctor, a line that left millions betrayed. He promised transformation, but what we got was division, confusion, and a mountain of speeches. And somehow, even after all that, the applause never stopped. Greg Gutfeld doesn't just throw punches at Obama, he holds up a mirror and asks, "Are we still falling for this?" All the polished speeches, the filtered Instagram posts, the pauses that felt deep. It was a masterclass in branding. He sold hope like it was an Apple launch and ran the country like a group project handed off to clueless interns. And we're not even talking about the tech censorship that quietly thrived in his wake, or how identity politics seeped into schools, companies, and every corner of public life. Greg points out that while chaos grew, Obama stayed above it all, only showing up when the media needed a feel-good soundbite. It's almost funny. This was the guy who set the stage for cancel culture, outrage mobs, and moral sermons delivered from luxury retreats. He didn't just lead, he created a vibe. And now we're stuck in the aftermath, where tweets count as activism and good lighting matters more than real answers. But hey, as long as it looked good, no one cared the system was quietly falling apart.